So, what do you learn when you're training with a guy like George St. Pierre? Because our friend Paul Patsko dug up some video of you and George doing some training here. Tell us about how did this come about, and what do you learn from this?
Well, George is a good friend of mine, doesn't live too far away from me. And I've been friends with George way before he was a UFC star. I remember back in the day, George, when he lived in Montreal, he would fly to Edmonton to train with people, train UFC. Nobody knew who he was. And I would give him tickets and jersey to come and watch the Oilers game. So I saw his way, like working his way up to become a UFC champion. When, as you know, many people now loves him because he's the champion. But what were you before when you needed your help, right? So
Uh,
that right there is like when I was retired, when the UFC came to Montreal and George St. was going to fight there, we kind of did an exhibition match for fun, where a wrestling match with George, because the UFC really wanted to show how tough George St. was, and people were like, if he makes an NHL fighter look bad in the octagon, it'll show how tough that he is. But obviously, I don't know any technique about wrestling and stuff. So when we wrestled in the octagon, I couldn't do anything because that's his
right.
George St. Pierre. That's his forte. I've never done that. He would never go on the ice with skate to fight me, and he said it himself.
Yeah.
But in the octagon, George St. Pierre is the king, and not just him. Anyone that is a UFC fighter that has that has some experience, I wouldn't stand a chance with them because I don't know the technique. I don't know how it works. But
Right.
even today, at 47 years old, put anyone on the skates in front of me, doesn't matter how old they are, they're going to finish on the ground.